friends, your favorite besties are back for another episode of No Ma'am. I'm your host, Willie Will, and this is my co-host.
Jhoany. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am.
All right, so today we are diving into RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17, Episode 14. The episode is titled Who's Your Headliner? And so essentially, this episode determined who will be making the top four.
So it's the last competitive episode of the season.
Yeah, and this was, to me, I thought this episode was, speak about filler. This episode was No Ma'am at its finest, but it was such a filler episode. I was so confused throughout the whole thing. I was like, what are they doing?
Yeah, this didn't feel like a final challenge episode at all. Like I mean, like previously, we've gotten some really good ones like season 12, season 13, or like All Stars. Like, this tends to be the challenge where the girls perform like a really big number and we really get to kind of decide who you want to root for. And this episode just felt like I don't know. It was poorly edited. I didn't feel like I got enough out of the girls. I don't know. It was just weird. I don't
It
like it.
was. It was really weird.
But honestly, I feel like it's the finale we deserve for this season. No shade,
Okay.
but
I
kind
can
of
see
full
that.
shade, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. It was just, to me, it was random, right? And I say that because in all actuality, I mean, obviously we'll get into the whole details, but spoiler alert, Susie goes home this episode, right? But I thought it was random that she did go home.
It. I think they should have just kept the top five at this point. Honestly, I don't know.
Thank you.
Like,
I was like watching the episode back, and I was like, as much as we've been shading Susie Toot throughout this whole entire season, right? Because her aesthetic is not ours, like it's not something that we just gravitate towards. We can't take away the fact that Susie did do well in the competition.
it was never
Yes,
below safe. I mean, she was safe a lot. Let's be
right.
real.
But
But I feel like this episode in general, along with kind of the season in general, has felt very forced in terms of like they were pushing very specific people, and we could obviously tell, which is something we've kind of alluded to in previous episodes, specifically at the beginning of the season. We're like, you can tell who's going to be in the finale just if you pay attention to the way they're editing the queens, the questions they were being asked in terms of getting them to be personal during in the workroom just felt very forced again. Like it felt like they were literally underneath the table, like, "Hey, ask Susie about this, about her trauma or whatever." I don't know. It
yeah,
just this
yeah.
season has felt very forced, very fake. I don't know.
I wonder if this was how it originally played out. You know how sometimes, right, like we get it, like they'll edit the season and then it's like a different edit. I wonder if because we've heard some tea that there were some fights happening and they were like this. And I wonder if it was edited after the fact. Like if they had an idea going into like how the producers saw it and they were like, oh, maybe we need to pivot this way and edit it this way.
It does kind of feel like that in some ways. Again, the way they edited the girls, the way they kind of pivoted halfway through with some of them.
Hmm.
Like I'm kind of thinking like Lexi Love in particular.
Right. Same.
Like at the beginning of the season, like let's be real, everyone was like, that's at least top four right there. At least top
Right.
four. Like from
Right.
the very first episode, second episode even. And then as the season went on, we kept kind of getting the edit of like one Lexi, like all the like coming up clips were always of like Lexi fucking up, which I didn't understand. Like almost all of them, like half of them at least, were like Lexi fucking up. And then obviously they really pushed the whole Lexi versus Susie narrative, which sure might have been prevalent, but we know that they could have edited it. Oh, girl, that's a tongue twister. They could have left it on the editing floor.
Correct. Yes.
But I don't know. This season just overall has felt very weird.
Yeah.
Not my favorite. Love the
Right.
girls. No shade on the girls.
Right.
No shade on the
Um,
girls.
I agree because I think in the beginning we saw Lexi come out really strong and she was confident. She was like, I thought they was gonna play into this nepo baby thing, right? Like, because she
Hmm.
was like, "Oh, these nepo babies, I'm here to step on their necks." And then for some reason we got into she lacked confidence and she feels like Susie Tudor's her biggest competition.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but this is not the Lexi Love from the first two episodes.
But then at the same time, I felt like they were still giving her like, "Oh my God, you're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista." So like, it just felt very weird. Like it felt like they were trying to merge two different edits that were kind of opposing in a way. Like they
Right.
kind of contradicted themselves.
Yes. And then that forced snatch game high, where it was like she bombed the snatch game and she should have been in the bottom, but for some reason they felt like she did well. And I know I was delusional when I said that. I agreed with Ross,
Girl,
but
I was about
looking
to say, girl,
back,
did you forget what you said?
I know, but looking back at it, yeah, like that was a choice.
Yeah, no, that was a choice. And I was like a Lexi stan when the season started. Like I was like, "Ooh, Lexi is gonna take this." Lexi should have Lucy. Never mind.
And then they
We're
tried
gonna
to
get back.
give, and then they tried to give Anya the underdog. They made
Makes
her
no
in.
sense.
Right, first they made her into the angry black woman, right, where she had the fight with Jules, right, with Trimgate, and then she had Tarpgate. So they tried to give us drama, like, and I think they felt like, oh shit, this backfired, right? Like, we people still are invested in Anya, and then they was just made Anya like the underdog when she's literally dominating the whole entire competition.
Yeah, it made no sense. Like I don't know. Again, it was weird. Susie, I feel like they kind of edited her into the background.
Hmm.
Like I feel like she kind of faded. But again, she performed well throughout the entire competition. She was never below safe. She had some standout moments, but towards the end, I was like, "Oh, Susie's still here." Not to be shady towards her again, she's great. But the way the edit was done, I just feel like they purposely kind of pushed her out. Honestly, like it
They
felt very
did.
forced. Like they were like, "Oh, we're done with Susie at this point. Let's just get rid of her any way we can. We'll
Correct,
just keep
right.
her around so we can get rid of her."
Yeah, I don't think she had any more currency in the bank. I think there was like nothing, and it has nothing to do with her talent. I think she's a very talented queen. I
Oh
just
yes,
feel like,
absolutely.
as far as from the producer perspective, she had no more currency in the bank.
Yeah, very
I
much
don't think
that.
they felt like there was another narrative that they can push with Susie. Like, she has no more currency.
Yeah, that. And then with like Sam, she's been the most polished, and I think probably most consistent. I don't know about most consistent. She has been the most polished throughout the entire season. Like and I feel like out of all the queens left in the top four, she is the one who knows herself the best, and like her drag
Correct.
persona is the most fleshed out.
Yes.
Like we
And at
know
the end of the
exactly what we're
day,
gonna get with Sam.
yeah, and at the end of the day, they didn't cast Sam for something that was fresh, right? I think people fail to realize they didn't cast her as like, oh, this fresh drag queen. No, they cast her as a pageant queen. Like, she is the pageant queen. She comes with perfection. Like, that's what it was giving. And I think people fail
Yeah,
to realize that. Where they're like, oh, she has no personality and she's like cocky and she's stuck up. No, she's not. She just fully understands who she is.
that she. I think out of everyone this season, she was probably the one who knew her drag persona the best and knew what she was going to sell as soon as that camera started rolling. She was like, I know what I'm going to sell. I'm going to
Yes.
give it my all. And she was confident the whole way through, most of the way through. Obviously, there was like that one moment where she kind of, that we
Right.
saw the face crack a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
But I
mean,
mean,
Trinity
it's,
the Tuck was in season 9 was the same way. She came in as a real, like, as a polished pageant queen, and they had that,
Mhm.
oh, but Trinity is stuck up. And remember, Eureka was trying to throw that narrative out there, and it wasn't that. Trinity's like, listen, I'm a pageant queen. I like to win. Like
Yeah.
that's just this is what it is. And so Sam is reflective of her drag mom. And then on the opposite side, right, we had Jules Sparkles, who
Mhm.
literally was the comic relief of the whole entire season.
Oh, I love
Like,
Jules. Yeah. Bitch, I mean, she was
confessionals.
the confessional queen.
That is a reality TV personality. Like, Jules
Yeah.
is a reality TV personality. She is someone, she's one of those drag queens that's super funny, right? She is hilarious. People love her because she has such an infectious personality. And then I feel like some of those wins, she should have got some of the wins, even though
I
they felt
agree.
like she didn't. That was weird. I was confused.
And I think, I mean, to be that young and to be that polished has to be commended. Like, hello, what? She was like 23, 22 at the time of filming, something like that. Uh,
Maybe. Yeah.
but like her drag is me of like somebody who's been in the game for a very long time, much longer than that. And again, I think she was more polished than some of her competitors who've been doing it for much longer. Uh, no shade to them. But it's just more of like, hey, like. she genuinely surprised me this season because I kind of did count, at least in the beginning. I was like, yeah, she's funny. I like her. But I didn't think she was going to do this good. I was like, she's really young. I felt like it was going to be kind of like, I don't know, like Blair Sinclair or something like that. Like where I was like, she's going to be great, but I don't think this is her time. But as the season played out, I'm like, I'm really rooting for Jules.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was great. Rue comes in the workroom and she lets the queens know that one or more queens may be eliminated before the finale. But the challenge is they need to make promotional videos and they also need to take photos for a promotional photo shoot for RuPaul's Drag Race Vegas Live. And then they will also have to do an interview with Latrice Royale. So,
Yes, and that performed.
oh, and then perform the original song Gift Shop that is new to the Vegas Strip show. But okay. I just felt like it was a lot of things that they needed to do that we
It
did not
was.
get to see.
I was about to say it was a lot, but it felt like absolutely nothing at the same time.
Right. And we're going to
Like
get into
by the
that.
end, we were like,
Yes.
so this was the finale? Like this was the final challenge? Like that's all they did. Like I didn't even realize they had to film that promo video until like they were playing them, and I'm like, that's what the challenge was.
That was what the actual challenge was. The actual challenge was the videos and the photo shoot. Like that was a challenge put together. It was kind of like an advertisement challenge if you think about
Hmm.
it. And so, but we didn't get to see the videos. We only got to see the photo shoot. So during the photo shoot, we see that Jules and Anya are hilarious, and they
Yeah.
are making RuPaul like laugh the hardest in that. And so you can see that they're the standouts in this photo shoot. The
Hmm.
opposite side,
Jules,
right? Jules ate down, like dead. And then Anya is always going to be funny. I think, regardless of whatever situation we put her in, she's always going to find who she
hmm
is, right? And I think that's something to be commendable too, because during this episode, we found out that she doesn't do drag full time. And
hmm
so, being that she does not do drag full time, and still she's able to have this well rounded personality and just well rounded, like, drag persona, even though sometimes, she may struggle in the look department sometimes. But that would make sense if she doesn't do this full time. So, and then we see that Lexi, on the other hand, is struggling a little bit in the photo shoot, and then Susie definitely is struggling in the photo shoot. Like,
Like a fish
I
out of water.
literally, she was a sailor. I think she kind of missed a mark with the Vegas aspects of the whole
Yeah,
challenge.
especially when you compare it to the other girls, like Sam with that like hair and the gown and the stars and everything, and then you kind of turn to Susan, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
did somebody
Yeah, I think this in terms of Vegas, I think a lot of the queens, with the exception of Jules, kind of misrepresented what like the Vegas showgirl of it all is.
So
I didn't
right
get
now,
that.
sorry, right now we're like looking, we have like the promo up. I feel like that would have been a great look for that.
It could have, yes. And like
Yeah.
her promo look was very
Yeah, her
Vegas.
promo look. Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yes.
Like her
Yeah.
promo look would have been perfect for that scenario or something similar to that. Um, but yeah, that sailor outfit she wore was not giving me Vegas at all. It was not giving me feathers,
No.
not like jewels. No.
Yeah. And then Sam, she did well, but I think her dress did kind of hinder her a little bit. I don't think she was able to like move around and be as playful
Yeah.
as she wanted to, because even though the gown was gorgeous, I just felt like she kind of was a little like staccato. Like she had to be stuck in one place. And so the guys played around. Remember, he did like that V thing,
Mm,
and then the other one was like had his like butt on her, which I was like, okay, this is a funny photo, but the pit crew members made the photo
made
more
it.
funny
Yeah.
than. Right. Then next up was the interview with Latrice Farrell, and quite honestly, I forgot majority of them.
One, why the fuck did we not do those? I love those. That's one of my favorite parts of the season. Like the Tic Tac lunches. Like hello. Like I don't know. I feel like the soul that we usually get in the finale episode was just not.
Right.
Like there was several things obviously, but like not having the Tic Tac lunch with Rue just felt weird. And
But
why
I
not?
wonder,
No, what were
I
you gonna say?
wonder, no, I wonder if we will get a Tic Tac lunch with Rue during the actual finale. And because
Oh,
this
that
was
may
a
be it.
challenge, I think it was like, Latrice Royale is just seeing if they have charisma, right? And maybe that's just part of the challenge, but we may actually get a full Tic Tac lunch with Michelle and Rue for the actual finale.
Yeah, okay, I see that. I can see that. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I mean, if
But the one
not, it
thing I
just
did,
means that Rue is just trying to be less and less during the Tic Tac lunches as possible.
which I think is stupid, because again, I think that's one of the best parts of the season where you really get to like kind of decide like which queen are you rooting for. And kind of similar to that, I do hope they add the self-reflection in that final episode,
Oh
because I
yes, when
love
they have
that
to
again.
talk, when they have to talk to their like their baby self.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
the two moments that did stand out for me with the interviews though was Lexi Love finally kind of unveiling her trauma. Like we know it's been kind of hinted at throughout the entire season. She's been very open about her um her addiction. So it was kind of nice to not nice. I don't want to say nice because it was interesting to watch her open up, I think, and really let us know kind of what happened. I'm very
Hmm.
sad that she went through that. Obviously, very traumatic. But I think that also kind of a few episodes we said that like she needs to work out some things
Hmm.
because we feel like something's holding her back, and we finally got to see that, and now it makes sense. Like she's gone
Yeah,
through a lot,
yeah,
and I don't think she's worked through that enough, and we can see it like be holding her back. We can see it be a hindrance to her.
yeah. I think if she
And then the
doesn't
other,
win this challenge, she can do amazing on All Stars
you mean season?
season. If she doesn't
Yeah,
win this
no, I agree.
season, she would do
Yeah,
amazing on All Stars.
yeah, come back in a couple seasons, in a couple years, once you figured your stuff out, and I think she'd absolutely dominate in All Stars. Like if we can get the Lexi from episode one, yeah, or episode two, whatever her episode was,
The talent show episode.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other moment that stood out to me was Jules when she blanked. I was like, ooh, girl. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense. Again, she's really young, and sometimes I know it's hard for us as queer people to really think that far ahead, because we never know what's going to happen, especially in the state of the country right now with politics and everything. We really
Right.
don't know what's going to happen. So I don't
Hmm.
completely blame her for not knowing like what she wants to do in the future, because I think there's a lot
Right.
of people that are like that. I do think she kind of tried to save it at the end, and
Hmm.
it was a decent save. But I understood her. Like I felt more. I felt like her being like I don't know was more honest than her trying to like think of some bullshit answer on the spot.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah. All right. Shall we get into these looks?
Yes,
All right. So the category is outerwear, which I had no idea that it was until I had to rewind it back. Because I was like, what is this category? At first I thought it was like, oh, like finale eleganza, but it wasn't. It was outerwear, and I was like, oh, okay.
I don't get
But before we get into
why.
that, we did have the performance to gift shop, which literally was like 5 seconds.
Oh right, I forgot about that. But it was a bop. The song itself is a
The
bop. Like
song
I
is
meet
about
me at the gift shop. Girl, we like I remember we were watching it at Hardware, and like the challenge happened, and I was like, "Oh, great! This is the first part." I was thinking it's like they said Vegas or Their Live. I was thinking it was gonna be a callback to season 12 when they did like three songs on the main stage,
hmm
um, and like the first two being like pre-recorded songs that were from Drag Race Live, and then the last one was one that they added their own verses to. So I thought we were gonna get that. So this song
Same.
finished. I was like, "Oh, great! Next song is coming on." And then she's like, category is, and I'm like, wait, what? What?
We were all like,
Where's the rest of it?
is
Like
it
it just
over?
felt like, yeah, it felt so bland, honestly. I think the girls all performed pretty well. Again, I think Jules kind of killed it. Like I don't know, she was serving face the whole time, which I lived for. But it just felt like, okay, where's the rest of it? Like I wanted more.
Same. Same, same, same. But again, the category for the runway is outerwear. And so the first queen up, we have Jules Sparkles.
Mhm.
So what do we think of the look?
I love this. I will give it a yes, ma'am. Like a very high yes, ma'am. Almost over. And the only reason I don't is because of the placement of that bodice, corset, whatever you want to call it, plastic thing. I don't know, it was just a little weird to me because it felt the way it was placed, it made the bottom feel a little unfinished. Maybe that was also because she was wearing like a colored gown. So it felt like it should have covered her like bikini area.
Hmm.
Maybe she could have cut it a little shorter so that it looked like it just should have been the top. But the way it came out, the way it kind of flowed, it just felt like there was maybe something missing. Still beautiful. Love the
Hmm.
hair, feathers, makeup, always on point. But it was just that small thing for me.
Yes. I mean, I also gave it a very high yes, ma'am. And this would have been an ova if she had a panty. So if she
See,
had a
yeah, maybe
panty,
that,
it
like,
wouldn't have made the corset look weird because the corset. All right. So I'm going to give you some backstory about this look because apparently people are upset because, oh, they're like, oh, this is another recycled look. So, yes, this is a very special look for the House of Sparkles and the Tug
hmm
Dynasty. This
hmm
was Chantel's Entertainer of the Year look. And so the dress itself is sheer. It has a white corset, and then Chantel also had white panty. So if it was a white panty with it, the whole
let me
entire look would have been really great. So that's the why it kind of the corset kind of looked a little weird to you. And then the jacket was a labor of love between the house. So I
a
think helped
jacket.
made it. Trinity helped make it, and so like they really just did their like thing on this jacket.
Yeah, no, that jacket was like absolutely gorgeous.
I'm just upset, which I'm upset that the fans are giving them so much hate for wearing looks that their family members had because I'm like, these looks are great. So, like,
Yeah.
why would you want them to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for like a look package when they have clothes that they can make their own? I'm confused. Why is that a problem?
So I feel like it's kind of hypocritical and contradictory, honestly, because I do see a lot of this talk online about like, ooh, the girl should not be having to spend this much money on the runway packages. Drag Race should, like, the producer should give them a stipend, kind of help them put these looks together, blah 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 blah. Like, girls should not be having to get a second mortgage on their house to afford to be on Drag Race. I 100% agree on that. But you cannot think that and then also be like, oh, why is she using her drag family's looks? Because that makes no sense. Hello. Like, the Tuck Dynasty got money. Like, let's be real. She won Drag Race 1. She was a top four two other times. Like, the bitch got money. Look at her. She's expensive. Why shouldn't she be able to provide for her family? Like,
I
why
don't
shouldn't she be able
understand.
to be like, hey, you two come here. I'm not gonna let you like go in depth for this. Like, I have all these outfits that I have not presented on the runway that the actual world has not seen to this capacity. So yes, of course, take whatever you want. Like, hello. That's
Right,
exactly what a drag mother should be doing or a drag matriarch should be doing. So I don't understand why people are so upset with it. And I hate the fact that anytime people try to defend their favorite, they kind of use this as an excuse for them not to be the winner. They're like, oh no, everything she presented was from Trinity's closet. Yeah, but she made it
right.
her own.
Right.
Like what?
I'm confused. And my thing is, it wasn't some of these looks Trinity and Chantel gave to them. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like, so it's not even theirs anymore, right? Because now it's either Sam's or it's Jules because they gave
hmm
the looks to them. So, and then they made the looks them like their own. They made a bedazzled it. They made a bejeweled some things. They made have add a coat to it, different hairstyle. Like, why is it so much? Like, I don't understand so much like the drama and the hate that they're getting, like all the smoke that the Tuck Dynasty and the House of Sparkles is getting. And the only thing I can think of is that people are hating because that's a really talented drag family. Like,
That like I really don't understand it. Like I know Trinity is not the most like queen in terms of drag and Ru girls, like a lot of people don't like her.
right.
Which I think is we're not gonna get into that. I love like anyone who saw our very
Stupid.
first episode. Trinity is one of my favorite queens of all time. Like, hello, it's Trinity the Tug. She's won the most challenges out of everyone on Drag Race. Period. What was it on with this? I forgot. I don't understand the Trinity, and I think that's why they kind of like they can't. separate these queens from Trinity, which I think is
Right.
very stupid.
Right. And it's not, and it to me is not fair to them that they can't do that.
Mm-mm,
Right. Because they're
mm-mm.
not comparing Lux and Lana.
Well, they are, but like they're not.
They didn't compare Candy Muse and Aja. And talking about like, oh, like why you wore that look and why you did that. Or Tsunami Muse and Candy. Like,
Yeah,
no.
at least not to
So
this extent.
correct. Which I'm just like, it's annoying to me, but I digress. All right. Next up was Lexi Love. So what did you think of Lexi Love's look?
But no, ma'am. Okay, wait, hold up.
So before you get,
Overall,
yes, go ahead.
okay. So for the category, I guess yes, she's kind of doing what the category asks in terms of
Mm-hmm.
like opulent outerwear,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like it. I don't know. The coat itself is okay, but I really don't like the dress. It feels unfinished. It feels like there should be more metal pieces to it. I'm not a huge fan of the hair. Like I don't know. I feel like as the final runway you are presenting in terms of again the competitive episodes
Mm-hmm.
and the final bit you recorded essentially for the season, kind of
Mm-hmm.
prior obviously to the finale and everything. Like this isn't the look I would want to go out in. I'm sorry.
Correct. Okay.
Like it just didn't feel like the look itself didn't feel like a top four material.
Right. I gave this a soft man. And the reason why I gave it a soft man is because I love the coat. And again, I have some tea. Right. But I don't
Okay.
love the dress underneath. So now
Yeah, I
this
hate the
look,
dress.
I saw this story by Utica on her Instagram. Utica made the
Utica.
coat. Utica
Okay.
also made a slip dress that was kind of the same material with the silver like beads. And like this, like you ever seen the did you see the Tony Braxton video of like he wasn't man enough for me? And she had like that silver dress with like the chains that look like this. But anyways, if you
Yeah, kind
didn't,
of, kind
she,
of, yeah, kind of.
so Utica
It's been
made
a
this,
long time, girl.
yes, but Utica made this plunging slip dress that was amazing. So if Lexi would have used that dress with this coat, it would have been an over. But the look, it's I don't know what happens between like the making of the garment to when it was presenting on the runway, but that the coat was great. It's
Oh,
just
that is
that
so
little
much better.
thank you. Yes, yes, yes. If she would have worn that, amazing.
Yeah, that is so much better. But again, we
Amazing.
don't know what happened. Maybe there was a malfunction.
Correct,
Maybe the
yeah.
dress got left behind accidentally. So we don't know what happened.
Right.
Maybe she just had to improv. But that is beautiful.
Yes. Right. So if that was how the look was supposed to be, it would have been amazing. So I suggest everybody go over to like Utica's Instagram story to go see it if you can. But it's an amazing look. If all went well with the
And it
look, if
was,
she was able to do it, it would have been great.
yeah, yeah. This is wait, yeah, okay.
It would have been over
Anyway,
if
it would have been an over. Same with Jules if she had put on those panties.
they would have put the panties on. Yes. So next
Yes.
up, we had Anya Nerves. And honestly, this was a yes, ma'am to me. And this has to me, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I think this is her best look all season. I think from top to bottom, Anya looked amazing. This again would have been an over to me if this would have given her a slight shape. I feel like the only thing it was missing was some shape. I needed a different silhouette from everything to tie it in. Kind of like when Shea Coulee did it. We still saw shape, and Shea did give us body when she was giving us, that Valentino, like off the runway, like when she did with the headpiece and the big earlobes. But we still had shape though. And so I think this is just missing a little bit of shape. I just need a little tiny bit of shape and it would have been over for me.
Kind of don't agree with you. Usually, yes, I will be that person that's like this swallows her up. Like she looks very boxy. She looks very flat. I kind of liked it. And in this particular runway, in this particular outfit, I actually liked the silhouette. I really enjoyed it. For me, it was a Nova. I love, love, love those earrings, like those huge exaggerated earrings. I love the headpiece. It looked gorgeous. That yes, probably the best she has looked all season.
Hmm.
Um, and I wish this is what he would have presented more of throughout the season. But then again, getting kind of to know her backstory this episode, I get it. Like I understand. kind of her fashion more. But this was amazing for me. This was my favorite look of the night.
No, it's this. No, this wasn't my favorite look.
Okay.
Surprisingly, what my favorite look of the night was Susie Toot.
This was my second favorite.
And it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to be gagged by Susie Toot. I don't think I've. I think this is the second time I was gagged by something that Susie Toot delivered on the runway. The first time was her Iron Maiden, and I was like, amazing.
Mhm.
And then when this came around the corner, I was like, this bitch did it.
Mhm.
This is
This
nice. Like, this is nice. This is an
this is a
over.
good fucking look. Yeah, this is the Nova. I love the shape of it. Kind of the exaggerated sleeves, the exaggerated collar. I love how it's all being held together by that button,
Mm-hmm.
that really big button. I love big ass feathers. This gives me more Vegas than what she filmed in,
You're right. Yeah.
like what she did in her commercial in. Yeah, I love this. This
Yes.
is everything.
This was
And I
so
love the
good.
material of this. Yeah, this is so grand.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
Again, this might be her best look. I was trying to give it a maybe the Iron Maiden would have been up there too, but I think that this could be her. Okay, this could
I
be her
love the
best look.
Iron Maiden look. I just feel like the polish in this takes it over the top.
Mm,
I will say this though. Maybe I never noticed. I know she's always been a big blush queen, but I've never noticed her take it under the eyes, and I don't like that. I don't know. It kind of bothered
yes.
me. And
I don't
this
know
is me
who
just
said
being
that,
picky.
but
That
somebody
was me,
said
bitch.
that. Yes,
When
you
we were
did.
watching it, and I was like, why the fuck is her under eye red?
Yes, you did. But I think
And
somebody else, I think another podcast said it too. They was like, I've never noticed that Susie's like blush goes into her eye makeup. So somebody
I was
else
so
says it too.
confused.
I need to figure out who else who says it too, because somebody else agrees with you.
And like, listen, I get makeup choices, and maybe sometimes you're trying to do them to bring certain characteristics out, or hide some things, or whatever. But that made no sense to me. Like, why are you making your under eyes red? Somebody explain that to me. Somebody who knows. Like, why did Susie bring the blush into the under eyes?
Susie, why did you bring the blush? Look, the blush. Susie, why did you bring the blush into your
I
eyeliner?
just want to know why. I just want to know why. That's it.
It's so funny. I feel like I'm drunk and I'm drinking ginger ale. Like, it's crazy. I want to be a bougie aunt and have my ginger ale in my nice little wine glass. And now I'm like, oh, like I can't talk now. And I'm like, what am I?
It's
Am
the
I drunk?
placebo effect, bitch.
It maybe actually, possibly. All right. So last but not least, we have Samantha Starr. So this is a soft ma'am to me, and it does not take away from the fact that this dress is immaculate. I just think that the shawl does not give me outerwear or does not read as outerwear as much as the other four looks did.
I will give it a soft man too. I love the Charlotte outerwear, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the jewels. The hair is so dynasty to me. I love
It
it.
really is.
Like those
Yes.
bangs. Oh my God. This is it really reminds me of like the whole face. Basically neck up. She reminds me of I don't know, Nicole Smith. I don't know. Like it's giving me that.
Oh my
And I mean that in the
God.
best way possible because I feel like some people might think I'm being shady. No, I mean that in the best way possible. The
First of all,
one thing
Anna
I really
Nicole
don't like,
was really pretty. She's really pretty.
the one thing I really don't like about this is the material of the dress. And that's just me being picky. I don't like orange. And the material just looked, compared to the rest of it, the material of the actual dress looks cheap
Okay.
to me.
Oh, you mean the fabric? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can see that. I mean, it also may have been the color, right? I think the color might have
I
made it
hate
look that
orange.
way.
I hate
And
orange.
you have a visceral response to orange. You don't like orange. Orange is
Or
not
green.
like or green, and green is my favorite color. So it's so crazy. Mind you, we have both of those colors in our logo, which is
I know.
hilarious.
I know.
Just want to throw that out there, y'all. Like, so just saying. But yes, I just think
My
I
lips are
would have
dry.
loved for this to be like a jacket or like outerwear. Like, I wanted it to read more like outerwear. I think that's the only thing that took me out of this look. Otherwise, amazing. Trinity helped sew this look with Sam. Like, that's why it looks like this. It's
Yeah,
immaculate. The look is great.
yeah. And I want that wig. Actually, no, I don't, because I don't think it would look good on me, but it's a great wig.
Maybe black.
Maybe.
Maybe
I
black.
probably look like my mom, honestly, but yeah.
Maybe black. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. You could probably do it in black. I think you probably get over it. Like you'll probably get
Chantel, how
away
much
with
for
it.
one in black? Let me know. Damn it. Girl,
Yes,
give me a quote for one in black.
that part. Um, no. Next, we find out that the top three are Jules, Anya, and Lexi, which means that Sam and Susie are the bottom two. Did you agree?
Yeah, I guess. Again, it felt very kind of forced, and I don't think anyone should have necessarily gone home this episode based on how everything has transpired this episode throughout the season. But it is what it is.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I would have preferred that they did, like you said, non-elimination, probably just do a top two, put all five
Mhm.
of them into the finale, and then do like they did. What season was that? 14, where they had them do
14.
the original songs, and then each one of them did original song, but only two of them made it to the top two. I think they should have did
Hmm.
this because this is a
Yeah,
really strong top five.
I think so. So I would have preferred that. But yeah, we can't change it.
But right. But Jules ends up winning the challenge, making her the first queen into the top four. And then we see that Anya and Lexi are safe, which means they also are joining Jules in the top four. And Susie and Sam lip sync to Love Child by Diana Ross and The Supreme. So, what did you think of that lip sync?
I think I, it was okay. I don't know. It was good. Um, Obviously having them lip sync to Diana Ross in front of Diana Ross's daughter. Hello Production was producing that day. But I think Sam ate her up. Like, I'm sorry. And I know I'm gonna get hate from the tutors, but they need to stop being delusional. You're not gonna win a Diana Ross lip sync by tap dancing. The fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my God,
Like,
I said the same thing in my notes. Like,
they're like, oh my God, Susie ate Sam up. Like, Sam just stood there. Hello, it's a parking break. Hi. That's what you do. The fuck? You're not gonna
look,
be there tap dancing to a Diana Ross ballad. Like, that makes no sense to me. Y'all can hate me. Y'all can call me delusional. I will call you delusional right back, bitch. But for me, it was kind of reminiscent, and I'm probably gonna get even more hate for this, of season four, Latrice versus Kenya Michaels, when Latrice is just there, like being all emotional, and then you just see Kenya like having a spasm attack in the background. That's kind of what it brought it back to me.
correct.
Yeah,
I said the same thing. I said, I thought Susie did really strong in the beginning. And then I literally grabbed you and I said, please don't tap dance. Please do not tap dance. Don't tap
you
dance,
did.
Susie.
You
Don't
did.
tap dance. And then as soon as she tap danced, I said, Susie fucked it up for herself.
Yeah.
Like, that's the
That could have
first,
been a double save.
I said, Susie fucked it up for herself. Because once you tap dance, you just lose the element of Diana Ross in the song. Like, you lose all of it because you go to a different era and now she just looks like she is just kind of just fearing for her life, right? She's just like, I'm gonna throw everything in the kitchen sink just to do it. And it's like, no,
And I get it. I get it. This is like, girl, this is what's going to determine if you're in the finale. So I get kind of trying to pull everything out, make sure you don't get sent home, but it needs to be intentional. It needs to make sense. Do not
correct.
tap dance
Yes.
to a Diana Ross song. Point blank,
No,
period.
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Well, friends, there you have it. That was our thoughts on episode 14. How's your
Who
headliner?
who do you think is going to win? We can ask that. Who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win?
Who do
And
you
who do
want
I
to win?
think is going to win? Because it's two
I
different
think,
questions.
I think we both know who, I think we both have the same answer for who do we think is going to win.
Correct. I think we think
Yeah.
Anya's going to win. I think this is
Yeah.
Anya's season two lose. Hopefully they don't do her like Saphira and, last season, where it's
Hmm.
like that last lip sync and it was like, damn it, Saphira. Right? Like, oh my God. I won't say robbed because I do not think Saphira was robbed. I think Nymphia validly won that last lip sync, hands down. So I hate when people be like, oh, she was robbed. She was not. But I would love for Jules or Sam to win.
Go choose
Just
one.
be-
Choose one.
okay. So if I had to choose between the two, I love Samantha and I have to stay with Samantha.
Okay. See, I'm going Jules. Like, I love Jules. Again, I did not expect a lot of her going into the season just because, I mean, I was really biased. It was because of her age. Y'all can hate on me for that. That's fine. But girl, that is not ginger ale. I've
It is
never
ginger
seen
ale.
pink. I've never seen pink ginger ale.
It's raspberry ginger ale.
That's a thing.
Yes.
They have flavored ginger ales.
Yes. I have raspberry.
Why?
I have. I have grape. I have white peach. Yes,
I didn't know that was a thing. Also,
yes. They
only
have
old people drink ginger ale just to drink ginger ale.
they have cranberry ginger ale. Like
You
yes,
would anyway. What was I saying?
yes.
Jules had really won me over this season. She was really funny. Again, the polish for such a young age has to be commended. We can't ignore that. I obviously, I don't know if I necessarily want her to win. I do want her to win more, just because she's my personal favorite. I would want her to take the crown over on.
You know, no shade. Like if Jules wins, she'll be our first Latina on the American season of Drag Race to win Drag Race. Who was the first Latina?
Bianca,
Oh shit, we forgot about the not the Bianca erasure. Oh my gosh.
girl,
But we need
it's the
another one.
first queen. The first, yeah, no, we've only had one. Well, two.
Who's the second one?
Emet Chachki is, I think, technically of Honduran descent, maybe, or something.
Oh,
Yeah, something like that. But this might be the first queen, Latina queen, that actually speaks Spanish. So,
oh.
so we can give her
I
that.
mean,
We can give her that.
so if she wins, listen, if Jules wins, we all need to be like, hey, Queen. We all need to like shout that.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, yes. I think it would just be really nice to see her win. I don't know. For something, I think it'd just be very heartwarming. I don't know why.
It'd be really good. Yes. No, I
Yeah.
mean, it'll be a good thing to
Uh,
win.
at the end of
But
the day, I think any of them could take it. And it's no shade to Lexi. Sorry, I didn't like that at all. But the way the season has played out, again, I was a Lexi stan at the
yeah,
beginning. I think she really faltered throughout. And again, I think she maybe has some things to figure out and polish up so that she can come back and, like, again, dominate and also I can see her doing that. But I
yeah.
think this is not her moment. And I think um I hated the way she kind of treated Susie, honestly. Let's just be real.
Well, I
I
mean, if you
get
think
it.
of
I
it,
get it. I get it. I
if you
get
think of
it.
it, all of them
Again,
except for Anya kind of treated Susie like shit. But you know,
that
that's a
is
story for
fair.
a different. That's a story for a different episode.
That is fair. Anyway, you can continue on
That
with your outro.
Yes, I mean, that was our recap. So, if you like the shade, if you love the laughs, if we had you say no, ma'am, we probably had you say no, ma'am. I'm sure there's a few people who don't agree with us, right? And so it is what it is. Put it in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am. If you're not following us, you're only getting half of the story. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at No Ma'am the podcast. And if you're listening to us on Apple, Spotify, or Radio Podcast, make sure you like and rate us 5 stars. It means a lot. And as always, we'll have you saying no ma'am in no time. Bye.